welcome once again to this week's episode of Quest and Quill. Last week, where we left off, the party had heard that there was something strange going on. That one of their neighbors, Old Man Hare, was being dragged to the wishing tree to be hung by the bandits. They rushed off in pursuit, finding him just in time as the bandits were tying off the rope to engage them, taking them by surprise, and slaughtering 3, able to capture the last 2. Now, with these 2 in tow, and the others literally being towed behind the horses, their bodies dragged along the ground. The party has made their way back to the ranch, where a horrified Pa is disgusted, looking at Lula and Saul. His face has gone red, and in an angry rage, he's yelled at you. Now, as we open up, Old Man Hare, the small halfling man, sits rubbing his neck and trying to show off the bright red wound to Pa. But Pa is still flustered. He looks at you, says, "Lula! Saul!" And the rest of you, "Is this the kind of company y'all keep now? Is this what I taught you to do, Lula? Saul, this is my home. Whose idea was this? What kind of madness perforated y'all?"
He's gonna hop down off his horse, and he's gonna be like lighting one of his rolled up cigarettes, and he's gonna say, "Paul, I recognize this is your home, but it's not gonna be your home much longer if you keep playing nice with these motherfuckers."
Saul, you want to be just like him? Because I'd rather leave.
I'm not just like them.
He looks at the bodies dragged across the ground, and he goes, "Well, you strung them up."
After they were dead. We didn't have the time to bury him, Paul. I'm not going to leave him to rot out there. I'd rather bring him up here, give him a nice Pelorian burial, and the more people that see it, the better.
John nods in agreement, and then he looks to Saul and he says, "Nice save, Saul."
That's not really a save, it's just true.
What do you have to say for yourself, Lula?
Well, Paul, normally I'll be sorry about actions that we have to do, but not this time, Paul. Paul, these people mean business, and they're gonna play real fine, real dirty to get what they want. Old Man Hare, they were hanging him by his neck. For what reason? Probably because he didn't want to give them what they wanted. Now, I agree. It's not good. To be all murdering. But they crossed the line, Pa. We gotta take
in the interest of transparency, this wasn't Lula's idea. And if she told me no, I wouldn't have listened to her anyway.
The dragging of the bodies was not my idea. But I would 100%, Pa, do what I had to do to make sure those fuckers didn't touch Mr. Hare ever again.
So, speaking of which, we got 1, 2 here we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, but we did spare 2 of them. You gotta understand, Pa, they were trying to murder Old Man Hare here. So yeah, we fought them, and they shot back. We did what we had to do to protect ourselves and save a good Old Man Hare.
And let me tell you one thing,
we captured 2, we spared 2 of them, so that does mean something, don't it?
Let me tell you one thing, sir. These city folk, especially these big corporations, You say, oh, we just leave and you don't have to become like them? Well, sir, I know the type. Enough is never enough. No matter where you go or what you do, they'll keep taking from you unless you stand to fight. Lula and Saul, they did the right thing. Because if it wasn't Old Man Gray, it could have been you.
He looks at Old Man Hare. You alright, old man? And Old Man Hare like nods, sort of says, thanks to these guys, thanks to you. In a quiet, raspy voice. He looks back at the rest of you and he goes, "You won't make a noise?"
Well, that remains to be
Eating for the
seen.
lizard. And then he walks away back into the house.
Aslan will look at the group and... At least we tried not to kill them. But as he says this,
Well,
he's completely
some of
covered
us
in
try
blood
not to
and
kill him,
entrails.
Aslan. I don't know about you.
He gave Aslan a particularly dirty look. He thought this was Aslan's idea. Initially.
That was some of the most shocking bloodletting I've ever seen. I've seen a lot.
I think it doesn't help his case that he's completely covered in
Yeah, he's coated, man.
entrails and I think some bone parts as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think the word that we're trying to use to accurately describe what Aslan is covered in is gristle. Blood and gristle.
That's a good choice.
Visceral, isn't it?
So John nods in agreement and he says, "That's right, Aslan." As he goes and brings up a hand to pluck a little chip of bone out of his mane, then he tosses it aside. He says, "Look, these people clearly they're willing to use violence, and unfortunately, with people like that, the only thing that they'll respect is strength. So this is what we must show. We should
Let's
rally."
take them to the shed. We should take them separately. I'll take the boy to the shed. And, no promises. He winks while the guy's not there. Or
Look,
he winks to John while he says this, while the kid is still tied up where he can't see him.
John, behind his glasses, you can see his brows frown. He says, "Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, Saul, but please, whatever you do, just don't kill him. Remember that they're witnesses to the crimes, and we will need the confessions out of them in order to not only justify all that we've done here, but also to maybe try and get the law on our side in this.
John, I think
We need their testimonies, and if they can't be
you and I both. I think you and I
lot.
both know I only need one testimony, and it needs to be told to me. And if it's told to anyone after that, that's just a bonus." He winks again, and kind of slaps the kid on the back, and then basically just picks him up and throws him over his shoulder, and starts walking towards the shed.
John sighs at this, and then he would look to Lula and say, "Lula, could you please go with him and just ensure that keep our friend straight and within the Lord's blessings?"
No, John, I ain't gonna do that because I want to have my own little talk with this fierce piece of shit right in front of me. And she grabs the fucking fantastic monk fight. Dear God, that did damage to us.
John gives her a concerned look, but he says nothing else.
The woman shakes as you grab her, somewhat resistant, but you have shrugged your muffled her mouth, so all you hear is bastard.
He looks to Havel and he says, "How about you, Havel? Would you go with Saul?"
Sure, Mr. Morello. I'll be happy to assist Saul.
You have my appreciation. But remember,
Of course.
please, you do need their confessions, and they ought to be spoken in front of the Bluecoats. If you could-
Rest assured, I know what's needed.
Okay. Good luck to you.
I walk off and class Saul on the shoulder. It's like, you and I should be acquainted, Mr. Saul.
I think when you, because I think Saul already gone. So I think what happens is whenever you do that, you're like walking into the barn or the shed or wherever, and he's already got the kid like hanging upside down from the ankles, like on a meat hook.
I grab a bucket, and I go to like the water well, and I pump it full of water, and I place the water bucket right underneath the head, and it's like, you know what? You know what's worse than drowning? Is when you get the water in your nostrils and it goes in. So maybe if we dunk this kid a few times, he'll talk a little bit quicker.
Maybe. Let's see if he talks quick without us having to do anything at all. I'm tired.
I know. That was a hard...
And he takes the gag out.
Fucking bastards!
Yeah, I'm gonna dunk him. That is awful language, especially to your elder son.
He looks at you guys, upside down.
So I just need to know.
Just make an intimidation roll for me. You can either each give me one individually, or someone can be assisting.
You know what? I'm gonna give the help action to Havel. I have a feeling he's probably better at this than I am.
Yep. Thank you.
I think it's just my calm, very lackadaisical nature about all this, very cavalier, is helping with the
21 for intimidation.
He, upside down, hanging, dripping, water droplets dripping, goes, trying to blow the water out of his nose. And looks up at you two and says, okay, but turn me around.
Well, we will do that, but first, just answer the first preliminary question.
Yeah, and while he's questioning, what Saul's gonna do is he's gonna be starting I think that maybe there's a brazier or something in here for like branding the cattle.
God damn it.
Or the lizards.
God damn it.
And he's just gonna be making a show of like lighting that up and kind of putting different prods and stuff in there. I should say no intention of using these. It's just the demonstration.
Sure, okay. You just have to tell me what you're doing. You don't have to tell me your intention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
But that being said, there is in fact a small bush stove,
that'll do.
mounted on the top of a log, basically, that they carry around.
I'm just gonna be quietly doing this. I'm gonna let Havel do the questioning.
I was like, well, answer truthfully. Well, my friend here is going to make you part of the cattle. So, are you willing to testify in front of the Bluecoats that you not only working for the was it real estate improvement, property improvement?
No, Property Investment Group.
Property investment group, the pig. Sorry.
Hey.
Yeah. You work for the pigs.
That's very good.
And knowingly and willingly, through the threat of harm, trying to intimidate these fine ranchers to sell their homes at a steep discounted price.
Now,
yes?
I ain't no snitch.
Oh, you're not going to be snitch, but you'll be in stitches, and then you're going to be branded. So, my good man, I think you need to fire up the calls. I think he's not talking.
Oh yeah, he's
Fine. I'll do it. I'll tell him, but I don't know nothing. We're just a gang.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, a young kid like you, real impressionable. You know, I bet, you know, you tell us everything we need to know. We could probably just tell the blue coats, you know, you're just a poor kid fell in with the wrong people.
Yeah.
That's about right. Just fell in with the wrong crowd. That's all I done.
Now, who have you met from the pig entity?
I told you I don't know nothing.
Then who does?
Sort of looks at both of you. Well,
Oh, he needs a jog in memory. So I think we need to dunk his head one more time. Help him with the.
That's too bad. I could tell he really didn't like it the first time. Poor kid.
Well,
It
come
dunks
on.
him.
There, is the brain flowing?
It's overflowing. Look at it.
at least the boss will kill me quick.
We don't want to do that, and you're a young man. You have a lot to live for. You tell us which member of your gang knows the people in Pig. You know, you have to connect the dots.
Listen. Okay, we were bootlegging. We were hired muscle. We was done security on booze, coming to Tenton from Delta. That's all we was. Then we were offered. You killed my boss, old Two Buckle. You
Okay.
your man put him in the dirt, and he sort of looks at you guys both. He's you notice the smell of ammonia in the air, and he's suddenly wet above envelope on top as well as on his head.
Yeah, that's not good. That didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
I'm gonna mercy dunk him.
Okay, and we become the Murder Hobo group. Let's do it. I'm complying.
I know that was for the smell, man. I felt bad for you.
You know what? At this point, it's like, did you witness your boss talking with anybody? Like, if we were to, what's the name of the saloon again? That's in town.
The country club.
In Splendor.
The country club. Yes.
Oh, the country club.
It's like, if we take you to the country club, are you able to eyewitness or point out the person that your leader has spoken to?
Listen, man. I'm just some hired muscle. I can tell you that the boss, and he sort of looks at you and blows one of his nostrils clear.
Yeah.
There's a big fella, right?
Mhm.
And he mean looking son of a bitch, got lots of scars on him, and he comes in and he gives the orders. We got a camp. I'll tell you, we got a camp. It's down by the stream on the bluff.
I'm gonna take out a map of the surrounding area.
You know what?
You do not have a map of the surrounding area.
Why would I have a map? I've been living on this ranch.
No. Saul, just take a stick and start drawing it.
Maybe one.
Start drawing on the
map.
ground.
Yeah, but anyway.
You know what? I'm gonna tell Saul to like unhook him and put him upright, but still tied up.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Because he's starting to comply. So
Sure.
I start and say, look, if the stream is here, and I start putting like in some of the movies they take the stick and they'll draw on the ground like here's the mountains, there's this and that. I will say, where? You tell us where this camp is.
I can draw it if you untie me.
It's like no.
That's not happening. I'm gonna put the stick in his mouth.
And I think with that, I want to switch to Lula. Is anybody else going to join Lula as Lula? takes this dwarven woman on her shoulder.
John would.
Lula's gonna preface this by saying, "Now I'm gonna talk to this little feisty piece of shit. Who's gonna come with me?"
I trust Havel can rein in Saul with the young lad. I really hope they don't go too far. But I'll come with you, Lula. I have some questions for her myself, though I'll let you do the talking.
Right.
Then John looks to Aslan, and he says, Aslan, this one's a slippery one. Do you think you could help us watch our backs at the very least?
Sure.
All right, cover the exit. So, Lula, where shall we take her?
Lula proceeds to take the trio plus the prisoner to a separate place, like a barn, away from Havel and Soul, so that
There's a couple of different barns. There's the hay
We had like a
shed,
little
the spinning
workshop
shed,
that
and
might be good. I remember that we had like a tiny, like a
so there's
smaller
there's a couple of different barns. There's the main barn, which is where the hay bales are and whatever, and then there's a tool shed that's closer to the house, and then there's the shearing shed, and then there's the skinning shed. It's a ranch. There's
Oh, the skinning shed. The skinning shed sounds fun.
Yeah. So Lula takes the
I think
trio
we're
and
in
the
the
prisoner to the skinning shed
Okay, there we
and
go.
places the individual.
You guys are in the main barn.
Okay. Yeah. So the
Okay,
trio takes
you
them
guys make your way to the skinning shed.
Yeah.
There is sacks of salt lying around. The smell is stale in the air, and a bunch of lines, some hanging hooks and pulleys above the small shed. But its walls seem to be detachable because you do occasionally need to clean it out.
So how does Lula set her down?
Well, I would want her in a position. Oh wow, words. Calm down. I would want her in a position to where she can't really get on her feet that quickly. So I'm assuming.
Well, she's hogtied, right?
Yeah, she is hogtied. That's the thing. Yeah.
Can't get on her feet easily.
Yeah. So she's hogtied. Just up against the wall, I guess. Just like leaning against the wall, like a spade.
So as she sets her. So does Lula lay her down like on her side or on her stomach, or does he sit her up on her knees like?
Oh, sets her up on her feet against the wall. Let's go with that. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, guys. What are you gonna do? Come on.
Well, I mean, it kind of does, but yeah, I don't really get the answer I was looking for. But if she's laying on her side, John would come up to her, and he would lift her up and put her on her knees, so she's at least upright and she's not looking at us with her face in the dirt. And then he goes and removes her gag, and then he stands up and takes a step back, and then he looks to Lula, as if to signal for her to proceed.
Okay.
You notice her seem to clench her jaw extra tight and grimace at both of you.
Okay. Whew. So, here's the situation here. We're going to ask you a few questions. John and myself are going to ask you a few questions. You're going to answer as truthfully as you can. If you do, hey, everyone's happy. If you don't, I don't know what John and Aslan are going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm either going to rub salt in your eyes or I'm going to break your fucking jaw. Does that sound good?
First of all, where are you standing when you're asking her? Does that sound good? What's your placement around her? She's on her knees, hand tied in front of you.
So it's a small skinning shed, right? So I imagine we're just upright right on her.
Yeah.
Where John's a step away, right? John just a step back, and we're just surrounding her, crowding her in a little corner.
She is going to go and just spit like fizz of blood in your guys' face. Like that. As she seems to have bitten her own tongue to just fuck with you guys a bit, honestly.
Wow, I love her, dear Lord.
And then she sort of like half spits the blood out at Lula. I'm telling you shit, cow.
We will see about that. So John, want to go first or should I?
That was gross. Lula, if you don't have any questions for her, I'm about to start asking her. Just go ahead. Tell her what you want to know.
Okay.
Or beat her up. I don't really care after that performance.
Okay, all right. So Lula's gonna nod to John's answer.
She laughs.
And she's gonna start off with the first round of questioning by saying, "So, little shit, what business do you have hanging Mr. Hare?" And she's gonna use her insight to try to see if she's lying or via through her body language or like anything like that.
Sure, go ahead, roll an insight check me. But as soon as you ask that question, she's gonna go, "What business? None of yours."
What business? Do you have any type of relations to the PIG, the Properties Investment? What are they called, John?
Group. Property Investment Group.
No.
Properties Investment Group.
Who?
Oh, well, I rolled an 18.
Your employer.
Okay. Good to know.
I imagine you know who you work for. You seem like a smart dwarf.
So you guys, a pig?
That's
You got
right.
No relations with your mother?
Right. So, what I want to know is why you're working for them. I'm sure they pay you, sure, but that's going to bring the law down on you. It's going to bring us down on you. You're really willing to sell yourself for gold like a common whore?
What did you call me? You wanna fucking fight?
We already did fight. You lost. And this is why you're here in the dirt now before us. Now, please, just tell us what we want to know. And I might be willing to discuss your release.
Two-buckle Tom. I don't know shit.
Two-buckle Tom. I'm sorry, two-buckle Tom, is that like an idiom, or is that a person that she's actually speaking of?
Lutando seems to recognize that she's telling the truth with that 18 insight. She isn't bullshitting or anything. And it seems to be the guy that was her previous employer.
Two-buckle Tom, was that the old guy with the big hat?
You know why they called him Two-Buckle?
Makes sense for him to be the boss with the big hat and all. John brings a hand up to like touch his hair real quick. His big green hair.
Hat. That dumbass loved his hat.
I think I stole his hat.
Is it in your inventory? Is it in your
my
inventory?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna come.
Anyway.
So, look, what we need out of you is that we need you to confess to the Bluecoats that you work for Pig. And if you do this, I'll put in a good word for you and ask that they go easy on you and don't make you hang. What good is all your bravery if you just end up in a ditch or in a grave?
Or in your lizard stomachs.
I wouldn't really do that to you. But look,
I ain't going back to the clink.
Well, why don't you fight for us then? We won't pay you, but we'll give you a place to stay. You would be among strong people. Surely that's something you can respect.
You ain't the best salesperson, is you?
Perhaps not, but I'm not really trying to make a pitch here. Just sharing Peller's honest truth. We're gonna fight. We're gonna rise up against the pig. We're not the only ones in this area that they have slighted, and they've made many enemies.
You don't look like any kind of preacher I've ever seen.
Not really a preacher per se, but a man with a vision. He says, and he brings a hand up to touch his sunglasses, his shades, and he says, and I've foreseen what the future holds. There is a ruination, a ruin, and the pig is the least of our problems, and it's a trouble that we'll be quick to squash, so that we can focus on the bigger picture.
She looks at Lula. Is he always this crazy?
Look, crazy at the half of it. I'm sorry, what was that, Lula?
Lula's just gonna retort by saying, "You just better listen to him."
That's right. Look, you think I'm crazy, but you don't know the half of the things that we've been through, the things that we've seen. There's an enemy coming, and it's already been attacking us. If you live to see it, sure, someday you'll see it with your own eyes. You don't have to believe me. But the truth of the matter is, you're in quite a pickle, young lady. And I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to help you make a good choice for yourself and for those around you. Don't you believe in anything other than yourself or gold? Don't you think that it might be worth it? Trying it the honest way?
You don't even know who I am.
You're right, but
you don't know me for shit, man. You come here lecturing me?
I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm trying to convince you to do the right thing.
She gives you a look up and down.
What's your name?
Give me a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, hey, Diego, since Aslan's being so quiet anyway, Havel and John's tokens are swapped around. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I just noticed now as well.
Thank you.
Okay, hold up.
No worries.
I got a nat 1. I'm going to use an inspiration for this one. Fuck that, dude. I already got spat in the face one.
Oh.
Come on, is
So
that not the...
I had 2 inspirations, and now I have 1.
Okay.
There we go. That's much better. Dirty 25. Let's go.
Dirty. It's not like you can have a natural 25, is it? Nice. 25.
True.
She looks at you and he goes, listen, I believe in family, and I got one that I need to look after. You, your folk, they put a big hole in my means of doing that. Now, if you can't fix that in some way, I'm not going back in the clinker.
And I also don't want you to. Your family. I'm sure they rely on you, and honestly, even given the things that I'm sure you've had to do to ensure that not only you survive, but that's an honorable thing. And I think your transgressions can be forgiven, and perhaps there can be a place for you here and your loved ones to be safe here at the ranch if you help us make it so. Pa, he's a generous sort. He's been living here for a long time, and he's of the mind to help those who need it. If you're able to turn another leaf and perhaps find it within your heart to live an honest life, you'll be able to live amongst us, and you would have a home here if you help defend it.
Ain't good at much, but I can fight.
Well, the world needs brave men and women. So, if you come with us to Tenton and you give your testimony to the Bluecoats, you have my word that I won't let them take you away. I won't give them that option. And even if you like, I'll bend the truth a little in your favor, and we'll play down your part in the hanging of Old Man Hare. It won't be known to them, if I can help it.
She gives you both the look. We'll only fix half of your problems. And with that, I think let's go to the others, as they are with the young boy, who points a bluff out along the stream. That this is just a line in the sand to you, literally. But Saul does recognize the stream and knows this to be not far from the rapids, where folks fish, and not far from where you've had the experiences of the pre-sessions.
Okay, it's near where we saw the light.
That's a good way to put it, yes. It's near where you saw the light.
What's your name, son?
Jim,
Jim?
well, it's Jamison, but folk call me Jim.
Hey, you should just stick with Jameson. It's much better. What's your friend's name? The one we didn't kill.
You mean Allie? The girl?
Allie?
The dwarf?
That's right. The one we didn't kill.
Allie, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
don't call her that. It's Al. She'll kill you.
Don't call her Al.
Don't call her Allie. She'll kill you.
Allie.
Al. Her name's Al. I'm sorry. Don't tell her I said that.
It sounds a lot like you're trying to get me confused and killed.
Don't tell her I said that.
All right. You know anything about her abilities? Seemed like she had a little bit of strange magic to her. I'm sure they're asking her all about this in the other room.
She tattoos got some magic to them. I don't know how it works.
We'll have to ask her about that.
Now, Jameson, you seem like you're a local boy, aren't you?
I actually grew up in the coast in the north frontier.
Oh,
We're about a day from Paston.
so why are you in Tinton and not in Paston with your family?
I ain't got much family left.
Oh, a very common story for the sort like you. What you need? How long you been on your own?
Well, I've been with these folks a couple months now, but I guess I'm alone again.
You don't have to be.
Well, sounds like you guys are sending me to the Clinker, sending me to meet the Bluecoats.
Tell you what. Now, I'm not saying you're lying to us, because you know there's consequences for every action. If you lie to us, well, you know you got two options. You could get wet, and we could dry you off real quick with that branding on you.
I think I'm about done. What was the name of... You said there's one more of you left on that bluff there? Is that what I understand?
One more what?
The camp. Your camp. Is there another one of you there?
The one by the river.
More than one.
Oh, how many are there?
A dozen at least. I don't know. It's
That's great. Oh, that's all I needed to know. I'm gonna pick him up, and I'm not gonna hang him upside down, but I am gonna rehang him, right side up. And so you just hang tight. And I'm gonna pull.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk out and motion Havel after me.
You know what? I'm gonna go when Saul walks out. I'm going to take a box, and if there's a chair or something for him to sit on, I'm just prop it up so he's kind of comfortable, but not. But he's not like being suspended. Because I don't know how long he's going to. I was like, you don't worry, that boy. We'll take. Havel will sit it straight. Sets up the box, whatever pail. Actually, takes the pail, inverts it, and uses it as a small chair for him to sit on.
Gotcha. Or stand on, baby.
Oh, yeah. Hanging suspended for even 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know it's uncomfortable.
Right.
So
it's like, this will be between only me and you, but I want to insight check him. Now, Jameson, you won't lie to Havel, will you?
No. I'm
Insight
straight.
check. $13.
So, I rolled a natural 1
All right.
on a persuasion check. Because he's not lying. He's being straight with you. But he's very nervous, so he's sitting there shaking. He's like, I'm being straight with you, I promise. And at this point, it starts to look a little bit suspicious, even, how much he's trying to placate you.
I class his face is like, you don't worry. Havel believes you. For now. Now, if you do lie, I don't know about my friend there. He might come back with more than just a hot branding on you. So, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I'll take a tin cup. I'll go to the watering well and I'll give him a drink. Also. And then walk out.
I have a question. I know, as I understand, you're a changeling, but I'm not sure. Would my character know that he's a changeling?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
No, actually, sorry. Everybody else knows but you. You weren't there for that episode.
Okay.
I did change it. in front of everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Everybody knows.
Sure
Everybody else knows that you have the magical ability to transform yourself. Nobody knows exactly how you do so.
Okay.
Right.
But Saul doesn't know that.
No.
Well, you saw him do it in the fight
Oh, I did?
to rescue Old Man Hair.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
If you guys are talking about Dimension.
Okay.
Oh, Dimension Door, yes. But as a changeling, no.
Oh, no. We know he has... actually, I guess Saul never saw him do it.
No.
Oh.
That was on the way to get the horses. There
That's okay,
was
then.
a couple blue coat.
Yeah.
I had a fun idea, but it's okay. I'm gonna say, well, that wasn't too bad. I think what we need to do is kind of barge in on the others if I know them, and I think I do. They probably treated her way too gently, and she's just playing for fools right now. We need to double check, make sure everything's on the level.
I agree with you, Saul. And I kind of get close to him and I say, you got a real knack for this. He's like, where'd you pick up this skill? This your interrogation skills.
I pull up my arm to show like just the myriad of like different like burn marks across just his forearm, and you probably see the symbol of Pelor there. That's also
Like
been
brand?
branded. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he's got the brand of Pelor, and then he's just got multiple like just burns from different brands over most of his body. First-hand experience.
Is that by choice? Because I've seen some strange things in my life.
I don't think I want to meet anyone who does this by choice.
Who did this to you, if you don't mind me asking?
That's kind of a big question. It's bad folks. We can talk about it later if you're really that curious.
I do. No, I given Lewis it's a little bit of insight of like what I do when I first met the guys. That I'm a bard, I'm performing bards, and there's always stories, and not all of them are good rainbows and sunshine and butterflies and sunflower seeds. Well, sorry, sunflowers. There are dark tales that need to be told.
I could
I'm
go
interested
for some
in yours.
sunflower seeds. You got any?
It's like, no. And it's like, and I checked. Do I still have? I don't have any more eels left, right? No, I threw it at John.
Yeah,
I threw it at John at
muted,
that
Nick.
time.
Oh well. I think they took her to the skinning shed, which was a great choice. I kind of wish I'd thought of that.
You know
What you did have, you threw at John, and anything you had left over after not throwing at John, you probably ate on the several days of travel since then.
Yeah, that's true. All right. I respond to Saul. It's like, you know what? I think the appropriate prisoners went to the appropriate place. Salute. Bless you.
Thank you. Out here, there's dust out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that dwarf, she was a handful. And I think the skinny shed will be that's an appropriate place for her.
We should they're never gonna go for it, but we should really just take that tattoo off. She's already there, half the work's done already.
I think something a little bit more subtle could be done. But let's see what progress.
It's not even getting information out of her, she's just dangerous.
Well, you know what? So are we. And
Yes.
people just could come to us and say we should be put down or we should be tamed. She
Well,
has a choice.
We're not hanging old folks, though. That's the thing.
Not yet, at least.
You guys make your way into the skinning shed. I'm sorry, guys. I wrote a note here, but it makes no sense to me about what was going on. Where did I leave off with her?
Wait. So before they go into the skinning shed, before they make it there, so John was basically offering her a place to stay at the ranch as long as she gave up her old ways, right?
Yeah.
And that her family would be welcome. And basically that's where we let off. And he says, so before we're to shake on this, I do need to take a look into your heart to know that your intentions are true. You consent to this?
Do I have a choice?
Well, it's either this or the law.
Or I beat the shit out of you.
I'd like to see you try, Ho.
Lula, please. We're trying to make friends here. He says, putting a hand out to her.
It's just an option.
Yes. All right, then. He goes and he takes a deep breath and then puts a hand out towards her and another hand towards his head, and he says, Irina Atsena Kota. And a soft green glow can be seen behind his glasses. And he kneels down and he puts a hand gently upon her shoulder, and he says, what is your name, young lady?
Call me Al. And then, as you're detecting thoughts, right? Or are
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
Okay, so the
he casts
first thing
detective thoughts.
immediately at that, like as you reach in, you hear her thoughts going, how easy it would be to just slip out of these restraints right now and slap you guys around a little bit, but she wouldn't make it very far. Fuck. She wished she could run a little bit faster. Damn it, she should have got that tattoo. Fuck, why didn't she take that off her? There's a bunch of anger, frustration, and then as it like goes a little bit deeper and you dig into her brain, there's deep-seated, just repressed rage. A sense of humiliation at being on her knees in front of you guys.
And he says, "And Al, who are you?" He asks her.
You see a cell, a dark cell, and a lonely girl. You see an image of herself, but as a child, just sitting in the cell, hugging her knees. And then you see that, and then you hear her thinking, and like all the thoughts come through. One tough motherfucker. But the only thing that still comes out is this child in the dark.
She would hear within her mind John's soft psychic voice. He would agree with her, saying, "Yes, you are. Tell me, who do you want to be? Is there anything more?"
You see a small hillside house. It's a sod house. The walls are made of stripped timber bark. You know, the cheap outside of the planks where it's just the bark of the tree, sort of haphazardly nailed in, and the roof is moss and grass, you know, like earthen covering. And as the door is opened, there is 7, 8 small dwarven children looking up with hungry, angry eyes. Well, sorry, not angry, hungry, sad eyes. I don't know. And then you feel the anger and these emotions come from her again, and she says, "Just provide her."
Then she hears John's voice again in her mind, saying, "A beautiful home, a beautiful family, so many mouths to feed. And I think I understand your struggle. I think we can help you. Here at the ranch."
You feel that same anger and humiliation. I don't need your fucking help. I don't need your goddamn pity.
"That's right, but we need yours. And if you help us, your family would have a place to stay, a stable home, friends and family. You could live here if you so wanted."
I'm going to ask everyone to roll initiative there, and I'm going to explain why. Because she is going to take an action to stand up. And you don't know how, but first thing she's going to do is like resist to push you out of her mind. That's a like 13 total, I think. It doesn't make it, does it?
What, initiative? Johnny got an 18.
No. The initiative was a 17, but the...
Oh, the wisdom save?
Yeah. 14 does not save, does it? Yeah.
Nope.
So she doesn't push you out of her mind. But she can still stand up and do what she wants to do, right?
Well, she's hogtied.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but she you don't know you don't know exactly how, but somehow she is able to just slip the bonds magically. And stands up and runs at you guys, sort of flailing angrily. It does not seem like a proper planned attack. It more seems like an outburst, like you touched a sore spot.
Oh, great.
Alright.
There's tears streaming down her face, and she's angrily running at you.
Shit.
John looks to Aslan.
She's running into the exit, you said?
No, she's running at John, basically. John and Lula. Because they're right in front of her. Like, she's magically slipped the bonds, and she's just sort of, like, tackled into them, you know?
Asla rolled an 8 on it.
Well,
Yeah.
So in that case, John is going to gasp, and I guess he's just surprised. His gut reaction would be to dodge. He's gonna take the dodge action, and that's his turn.
I think Lula, you're up.
Yeah, Lula rolled an 11. Lula's going to.
Oh no, then it's me up. Okay.
Yeah.
She is going to make attacks at you guys, but they aren't. She's not, putting her magic into it. She's literally just like flailing out. They don't hit, especially with the dodge action. I rolled with disadvantage to hit you. They were both 9s, but doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. John's he's just like trying to dodge the flailing hand.
And Havel and Sol can walk in whenever their initiative is. Basically.
My initiative is garbage today. I rolled really low.
16 for me.
16, that means you're next, Havel.
Okay. With that being said, I'm hearing the ruckus. And
I got 6.
I tell Saul, it's like, you know what? One silver is saying that it's all John's fault that this is happening. I go in. Let me see. I'm not even 100% sure how many spells. Nope, don't have that. Don't have that.
You just see this small dwarf woman angrily flailing her arms. Her face is red, streaming with tears, and rage on it. So, what are you doing, honey?
I am gonna cast.
Waiting.
I'm gonna cast Charm Person on her.
Okay.
And I say, Dwarf Lady, Super Saiyan Dwarf Lady with the tattoos. You need to calm down.
What's
calm down. 16. She made the save?
What is it? 16, but which one?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
DC?
No, she did not make the save.
Wisdom 16.
She did not make the save.
And she's gonna calm down. She's gonna see me as a buddy. And it's like,
yeah.
It's like, little pretty lady, let's have a seat. I'm pretty sure the one with the green hair has ruffled your feathers, and that's why you're all out of sorts. Trust me, he did the same thing to me. I feel like doing the same thing that you're doing, but rest assured, we're really here to help.
Just to double check on the effects of Charm Person, just to make sure. It is you and your allies are seen as friends, or just you?
Trying to say you and your companions.
You and your companions. Okay, fine. Even though you and John got some beef, I guess you still count as companions.
We're
Going
frenemies.
Yeah, frenemies, exactly. She's going to slow her swings down. You don't talk about my fucking family like that.
It's like,
Allie, you need to calm down.
You don't call me that.
Al.
Yes,
Call me Al.
I'm very sorry. I understand. A woman must have her pride. I never meant to make you feel any less than us.
She looks at all of you. She goes, ugh!
Oh, Sap, Al.
Idiot.
You see?
So I assume she's told you, since you are such fast friends now, that where her camp is and where the rest of them are?
No, her situation's a little different. has many hungry young ones that need her help. So her concerns are elsewhere. So you can see that John's eyes are glowing behind his shades. There's like a kind of a soft halo of light shining against the skin of his face.
Oh yeah, you can still see into her brain. So this whole time, like the lashing out in anger has just been like, "You stupid, you idiot, you dumbass," and it's all internal. None of that's directed at John. She's angry with herself, and like the emotions that you feel are just this inner, like, she feels so powerless and small.
Yeah, John made her feel weak. Yeah.
She doesn't like it at all.
Or vulnerable, shall we say?
Vulnerable is the perfect word for it, yeah. And this is how she deals with vulnerability. Welcome to this life, John.
He says, look, I think we wiped out her group. I don't think she stays at Pig headquarters. We already know where their people are. They're at the country club.
The camp, though, we have intel that there are many people at the camp.
Well, part of her group.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Basically, they're just hired help that works for the pig.
Sure.
But pigs themselves.
That's still a problem.
Well, sometimes you want to bind the arms. Maybe if you just chop the head, the rest will just fall apart.
I don't think the problem is her gang or her group of outlaws. Because let's say even if we get rid of them, which thought I don't like, the property investment group, they have more gold. They can just buy other groups. There's more outlaws out there to be had. That's really not taking care of the head of the snake, is it?
That takes time, John. And the last thing we'd want is we're already going to have to worry about them trying to pay off the Bluecoats. And the Bluecoats are cowards. And so if they have, in addition to that, a whole gang of ne'er-do-wells behind them, that puts us in a weaker position.
True. But how about this? We could go to the country club and we could find a way to break into their room and take whatever gold that they have from on them off their hands. That way, at least for a while, they wouldn't have the means to buy more help, so to speak. And that at the very least buy us some time to rally the other ranchers and make a front against them.
That's all. I'm on board with stealing as much money out of these folks as we can, but this is a corporation, John. They don't deal in just gold. They deal in contracts. They deal in promises of gold. It doesn't matter whether they have gold or not on them.
Look, we don't know what they are. All we know is that they call themselves a property investment group, and there's two of the members of whoever they are out at the country club. I think we shouldn't be making any assumptions beyond this.
Listen,
but that's fine. I mean,
Elf boy, are you good to your word?
He looks to her and gives her a very serious face, and he says, "Of course, I intend to."
You won't let them hurt Jimmy?
Not out of our life. Not out of my power.
Are you talking about Jameson?
Something.
What was that?
You got us guarding something.
Oh.
No, I mean...
sorry,
guarding what?
She's talking about Jameson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's that?
The kid.
The boy.
He doesn't even like being called Jim.
I see.
Well, then, if you don't like it, he can do something about it, can he?
Well, he sure did. He told us everything we need to know. What have you done?
Well, do you know that they got us guarding something?
What is it?
She looks at you, and you see a look of genuine confusion across her face. John, in her mind, you can see what literally
What's
looks
she thinking about?
Yeah, she's like, fucked if I know, is the first thought that comes to her mind. But the image that comes to her mind is literally what looks like a hole in the ground. Like you look at it,
where
it
is
literally
it?
looks like someone's dug something up. And
Yeah,
you see like
as she
it's
thinks
the
of this,
stream, like
yeah.
yeah.
John would, as she thinks of this, John would probe further and try and discern its location.
Yeah, you see the location down the stream. You see how they've been getting in and out crossing the stream. You see that there's a small bluff and a hiding spot next to some eroded cliffs that they've set a little tent in. And you see this little hole in the ground. And then she says to you guys, "Fucked if I know it's a hole in the ground."
Where is it?
John touches a hand to the side of his temple real quick, and he gives a brief frown, and then he says, "I know where it is." And
So
then,
you don't know this.
I need to know. As great you know where it is, I need to know where it is.
it's hard to explain. I don't really know the area, but
I'm gonna draw the same map that we drew earlier. I'm gonna say, where is that? I'm gonna.
Actually, DM, this is all happening in her head with John, right?
Yeah, none of you
Well,
guys know what's happening.
She said it too, though.
She did.
Yeah.
She did say. Yeah, she did say out
Oh,
loud.
okay. I'm sorry.
She did say
I
out
thought
loud.
this was in there.
Fucked if I know it's the hole in the ground. That's what she said
Where's
out loud.
it?
So
pretty much to the same place.
I want to mark on the map where I know a certain hole was, and I'm gonna say, is it there?
She shakes her head at you, but she points pretty near where the other where Jim pointed out his spot.
Okay.
So I guess John would lean over and look at the map real quick, and he would say, "Yeah, that feels about right."
All right. Well, we certainly, John, I don't think we should sleep on this. I think we should take care of it.
I agree. I'm pretty tired and I'm out of my stronger powers,
We
but
can rest up. It's still pretty. What is it? Still pretty early in the evening.
By this point, it's about midday.
he says, "Yeah, maybe after lunch we can head out and go investigate. But see if you agree with me on this. But maybe at least we can leave Al here, so she can become acquainted with her new host. What do you think?"
I'm sorry. What?
So while we go out and see what they're guarding, maybe we leave Al here. I've invited her to stay at the ranch. Her and her wards. She has many mouths that she has to feed, and they could really use a place to stay if she's going to live an honest life.
You know,
You hear in her mind, "What the fuck does this guy think of me?" And then it's like all of this who does he think I am? And then you hear her grumble.
Yeah, I don't know,
sisters.
John, if you should be feeling comfortable enough around here to just invite people to live here, especially people that tried to execute old men this morning.
And about that, I want to go back onto that topic.
Well, that's why I'm asking you guys now, and that's why I would like Pa to get to know her. If you guys feel safe in doing this, but if not, I guess we'll have to think of
I'm
another
not
way.
scared of her at all, John. I feel perfectly comfortable with it. I'm just, I don't know if the people that actually live here.
Well, that's the point of her staying and speaking to him. Maybe they can see what each other has to say, and hopefully they can find some common ground and a place for her here, if there is one to be had.
I hope so, because look, I believe in second chances, but you have to actually want to change. And it's real easy to want to change when you're tied up.
Yeah, well, she's not tied up anymore.
She's not tied up anymore?
Did you miss
yeah.
that?
She slipped their ropes and she was like flailing around the shed until Havel stepped in and cast a spell on her to calm her down.
That's okay. That's fine. But okay, so I'll change it from tied up, but like captured. You know, if you've been forced, it doesn't really count if you're being forced to. You know, it's real easy for her to say she wants to change now, but what happens when all the people that kicked her ass leave?
Well, so
So
as a performer, when the crowd tells you you are one thing, you have a tendency to play the part. So if we start trying to typecast her as an evil or miscreant, and treat her with a little bit more respect, maybe she will act it.
I like you, but the world is not a stage. This is real.
Well, art imitates real life. When you
it aggravates it.
Well, maybe if you give her a chance.
Look, I'm not against giving her a chance. I just don't think she should have a chance anywhere near here.
well, look. How about at the very least we invite her for lunch? Because I'm starving.
That's fine. She's got to stay here anyway. I'm not bringing her to the camp.
All right. And, how about Jimmy? Will he join us at the table, or
Jameson? Yes, he will.
Jameson is a good kid.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
We made real
that's settled. Let's have ourselves a meal, and we'll decide after what we do.
Hey, John, I wanted to say, you know, as long as Jameson isn't here, if I'm like talking about, you know, how someone might survive or might not, and I'm winking at you, that means I'm not going to kill them, John. And every time you tell me, hey, please, you know, definitely don't kill them, you're undermining what I'm trying to do. Just for the future, whenever I want to, you know, get information or something, which I'm sure will.
Oh, I thought you were just playing good cop, bad cop the whole time. Did you get that?
Yeah, no, that good cop, bad cop really only works if you're in the same room. You know, you don't. That pressure from the good guy and the bad guy doesn't apply if the good guy is not in the same room.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that detail. I'll try and do better.
That's all right.
We're not
Sorry.
doing it.
Sorry to hold up your spot in front of everyone.
It's all right. So
frustrated.
So John pats his stomach, and then he smiles to them, and his gaze stops on Al, and he asks, "So, who's hungry?" Basically, go ahead.
I say, you know what? It's been a long day. I could really use a rest. And as much as he wants to keep up a stout stance, he slumped his shoulders like, I'm going to the main house. I need a rest.
I'm gonna
walks
start.
off.
I can eat a whole road run a drumstick.
I'm gonna start help making lunch, man. Like early dinner.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking move just yet.
I'm cooking, Lula. You don't tell me what to do. I'm starving.
No. Brick shithouse. Hey, answer this. Why Mr. O'Hare? The fuck you do?
She sort of looks at you and like smirks a bit and is just, first rule of anything, right? Location, location, location.
Repeat that?
Yeah, I don't like her. I think it's a bad idea.
Matter of wrong place and wrong time, you know?
That's it? Wrong place, wrong time? You didn't
Look,
care?
guys, it's turning a
Listen.
new leaf.
Listen,
Turning a new leaf? My fucking ass!
we were told the old man had to go. Apparently they offered him a sweet deal. He turned it down. Nothing personal, just business.
Nothing personal, my fucking ass!
It's personal for us, as you can see. Lula, why don't you help me with Lula? Why don't you help me with dinner, please? Oh, we can talk this out.
I grabbed Lula and it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you need to
have a drink.
Yeah.
You better be.
Oh, you need to cool off.
Hey, short shit. Whatever the fuck your name is, you better be fucking thankful that everyone else here is giving you a second chance for the bullshit you try to pull. Because I swear to God, I would not be fucking standing if it was just me. You understand that?
I'm assuming you're like getting in her nose, like getting in her face.
Yes.
She's like looking up at you and staring you daggers into your eyes.
I'm readying an action.
As you do this, she just sort of goes.
Intervening. I'm just gonna like get in between her and Al.
Yeah. Yeah. John would also try and like step in between them and try and de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, as Lula is like literally shouting in Al's face, like looking down on her, Al is almost like craning her neck, looking straight up. She just goes and starts making kissy faces at her.
Lula, please. You're not helping the situation. You're trying to make friends here. These people, they have a potential to be good. If they so want. Like, please, let's at least give them a second chance first. I know what they did was a serious crime, but I think everyone could, use more chances in life. Please. Trust me in this.
Lula's gonna take a deep breath.
Trust her in this.
Yeah, babe.
Said he says trust me in this, trust her in this, and then he gestures towards Allie.
Lula's gonna take a deep breath and she's gonna respond by saying, fine. I'm gonna trust your judgment here, John. But the fucking second this Al piece of shit does anything out of line, I'm gonna make sure you regret this decision, John.
That's fine, but just don't call her that. That's fine. Just don't call her that anymore. Alright? Just make an honest effort to believe in her. So that she can believe in herself. He says, looking to her.
Lula's going to go up in John's face and she's gonna say to him, "Did you not fucking hear that she was already in the clinker? Think about that next time." She walks away.
But who hasn't spent a night in jail? We've all have made poor decisions in our lives. And thankfully we were given the chance to do better next time, right?
Lula did not listen to that. She stormed off. Cooling off.
Yeah, Saul's walking with her. He wants to talk with her in the kitchen while he's cooking. If she follows him.
So I repeat that. I did not hear a word of what you just said.
He's going to be
cooking in the kitchen. Remember what I was saying about your sound quality being great? It's not the echo. You literally looked away from your mic and said what you were trying to say.
I got a text message. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, he wants to talk to Lula in the kitchens while he's cooking. And so he's asked her a couple of times to meet him there, but I don't know if she does it or not.
Yeah, just one moment though. As they're walking off, John would sigh and lower his head for a moment before he lifts it again and looks to Allie and he says, "Please forgive my friends. They need some time, given what's happened today. I'm sure Lula has known Old Man Hare for a long time now, so she's taken it quite personally. I imagine you understand."
She sort of looks at you and she goes, "About the only part of this whole situation that I do understand."
All right then. Now, come on. I think you should come meet Old Man Pa. And then back to Lula and Saul.
He's making chicken fried steak because that shit's good as hell.
Ooh.
Oh man. Why did you say that?
Yeah,
Fucking
stop. You're killing me.
With brown
You're
green.
killing me.
He says, he's like cutting the food, like cutting the meat, cutting strips of it, and like kind of setting it aside to have Lula like dip it. He says, just between you and me, I have no intention of letting her stay here.
Why stop at that? Why just stop at that?
Friendship's important. That means a lot to John. That she isn't killed outright. And so, you know, I don't have many friends. I haven't had many friends. I think if he's insistent on it, then that's that. But he needs to respect you in that this is your home.
Doesn't have many friends, huh? You don't have many friends.
I said I don't have many.
What about me? You want this asshole to be in the same vicinity as Paul and anybody else?
No, I said,
This is
as I
logical.
said, I have no intention of letting that happen.
O'Hare.
You're
Try to
dipping
fucking
it too
kill
much.
him.
You're angry dipping. You're supposed to put love in the food, Lula, not hate. Calm down.
Yeah. At
Oh,
this point,
fuck off.
Lula's just like butchering some some potatoes, like, chunks flying everywhere and rustic cuts.
Don't come at me with this fucking love bullshit, Soul. Fuck you. Jeez.
Okay, well that was I don't know why you're lashing out at me. I'm on your side, but that's fine. It'll make you feel better.
But guys, this is not personal. This is all Lula. It's not me.
No,
it's
it's
all Lula.
No,
it's
we
okay.
know that. We know. You're good.
We're enjoying. Just keep going.
Who's Jesus though? Who's that?
As long as you're in a
Hello.
terrible mood, he's like washing his hands, like the red blood off of his hands, and he's like boiling some oil now. Says, since you're already in a bad mood, may as well just tear the bandage off. Your fighting style's all out of whack. I blame myself.
That might be the first thing that makes sense so far this day. You're right, yeah.
Look, you need to. I think maybe you got too taken with the way I do things, and maybe you should just find your own way of doing things, which you sort of do, but you don't commit to it. Like, it's probably the thing that you should do. Like, you're not a great marksman. I don't know if you'll ever be a great marksman, and that's okay. You know, I think that's probably better for you. It probably would have been better for me if I didn't become the marksman I am. But I think the thing that maybe if you were going to learn anything from me, I think it's that you should pick one or two things that you're good at and just get really good at them. But that bitch out in the shed, man, she had you on the ropes a few times, just scrambling around trying to grab any weapon you can find. You just need to pick one, maybe two. I don't want to take your toys from you. You can have 3. But I just think maybe that's I think I might serve you better in the future.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So you're taking that a lot better than me being nice to you and saying I think you're right. So I'll take it. You're gonna want to cut those potatoes thinner. You want me to do it?
Piss off. Did you?
That's a wholesome interaction. Okay, so I take it that these two wanted a short rest, and Havel's just going and fucking crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a short rest.
So-
Aslan is gonna join Hub.
For a cat nap.
Still has
So
a
we
hole
could-
in his.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hate that. We should stop doing that.
Oh that was
No.
terrible.
I like it.
That's gonna get old real fast, guys.
Hey, it took us
Yeah, just
33
don't overuse-
episodes to
just don't
finally have
overuse it.
decent sound.
It was appropriate timing.
So,
There's two ways
they
we
go
can do
they
this.
go to rest. I guess John would walk into the main house. What was done with Jameson? Is he loose or is he still strung up upside down? How did-
He's partially strung up but sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that in that case, go ahead, Hava.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's still detained, but he's not like distressed
Okay.
per se.
So I guess Havel and Aslan, they go and find a quiet room to lay down, and John walks into the main house with Allie in tow, and he would walk up to Pa and say, "Hello, Pa. So this here is Al. I'm trying to make peace with her, and I was wondering if you could help me with that." And then he goes and gestures towards her. He says, she's a brave woman, a brave dwarf. She's just fallen on hard times, and she has those that she needs to provide for. That's why she's done all these bad things. And I was hoping that you could help her turn a new leaf. See if she can maybe find an honest way to help those who need, those she's responsible for. So I was hoping that you might let me invite her for lunch. Whatever Saul and Lula are cooking, sure smells good.
Pa gives you a somber look. He seems to be sipping on a small tumbler of whiskey, smoking from his pipe. You know what, Mr. Morello? The whole world's turned upside down. You want to invite our enemies to lunch? Go ahead. Do whatever you want.
Thank you.
Don't know how much
You're right.
longer it's gonna be my home anyway. And he takes a deep, sad sip of his whiskey after swirling around.
John says, "Thank you, Pa. You're right. The world is turned upside down, but it's up to us to turn it right back up. And I think this is a small step in the right direction, showing some clemency to someone, some understanding. Hopefully, Hal here can find it in her heart to help us out, and in exchange, maybe she can find a home amongst us if Peller wills it."
He looks at you and he goes, I hope to see her in church on Sunday.
Well then, yeah. So I guess they would just linger at that point. Maybe John would just sit quietly at the table, and I imagine it would be a very awkward moment where he's just like sitting with Pa and Allie, and maybe I don't know what Old Man Hare is doing, but maybe he's sitting there too. I don't know.
Yeah, Old Man Hare and Ali and Al are looking at each other across the table, sort of somewhat suspiciously. You know, crazy weather we're having today. Sort of vibes, you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's one of two ways we can do this, since Aslan and Havel have gone to lay down, and they're looking to get in a long rest because they're both a bit of a mess. You guys can
Yeah.
have the lunch, sit with Ali and Pa and do that, But I would quite like to expedite that, Skip.
That's fine.
Discuss it in like the thing, and then go back to the pot after they wake up.
Yeah, before we go to sleep, I tell Asa, it's like, I like to be the big spoon. Do you mind?
God.
Big spoon? What?
I'll
gonna eat?
demonstrate. I just like physically demonstrate what the big spoon is.
I'll be back in 1 second, guys. Keep role playing, please.
I was gonna ask real quick, guys. Is it just John, Lula, and Saul that are eating lunch with the others, or?
Well, once food is ready, John would probably go over and like knock on the door and see if they're done spooning or not.
How tall is Havel?
Just like at standard height. Yeah, like
average
anywhere-
man.
Yeah,
He probably
like
just looks
6.
like probably just looks like a tick on Aslan's back, probably.
Exactly.
So he's neither tall nor short. Got it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like how a small child tried a big spoon like the parent. That's me, right there.
Aslan doesn't mind.
It's like Mr. Aslan, you're warm and fuzzy. I appreciate this. This is therapeutic.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'd start asking questions like, so what do you know about Saul?
As he spooning him, he's just whispering in his ear.
Yeah.
But keep
This
in mind
is-
that the Aslan smells quite bad, actually.
Oh,
Think like wet dog mixed with about half a gallon of blood and maybe some entrails that still are lingering.
Good.
That's true too. I forgot about that.
It smells pretty rotten, but he doesn't seem to mind. Don't smell.
I take my handkerchief, I shove it out my nose and try to form the handkerchief as a breathing thing, try to filter the bad taste. And I was like, "Oh, tell me what you know. Tell me what you know about Saul."
I think I just want to say, just as a funny aside, I think as soon as he's spooning Aslan, he whispers in his ear, like, "Tell me about Saul."
Like in my 20 years of playing tabletop role-playing games, I've never had a situation.
Saul is like thinly slicing the potatoes and stops and kind of cocks his head like somebody just walked over his grave, and then goes back to cutting the potatoes. You guys can go back. Sorry.
Wait. Are we in a separate room, or we're all in one giant room, like the living room?
No, it's a separate room. It's just more like subconsciously Saul feels disconcerted. That's the joke.
yeah.
I go to Aslan. So, what do you know about Saul?
I leave for a minute. And what sort of degeneracy do I return to?
This is what you get when you walk off air.
I hope our
Havel is spooning Aslan basically, and he's
I
asking.
understood that. Yes, believe me, I caught that part. Whew. Lads, okay, continue, please.
Oh my god.
And now I'm whispering in Aslan's ear. It's like, tell me about Saul. What do you know about Saul?
Oh?
Yeah.
He doesn't. Oh, now he talks a lot. Or he didn't talk at all. I think he's Lula's maybe uncle or something like that. And he also likes to shoot guns. But me, I'm not much of a gun person. I think, axes more my thing. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
And it's like, do you know anything more about Saul other than him being Lula's uncle?
He's a good warrior. And yeah, I think he could be a good Bloodfang member. but yeah, I don't know much. I think he likes to fight a lot, but I don't know why he does.
So you're saying, but you don't know his history. Like, where is he from? The people he knows, other than us and Paul.
Oh
and the
yeah, he told me something about weird man doing weird things to him. Honestly, I didn't really understand. Too many big words. Something like that. I think someone just made him very angry, and now he takes it on other people.
Okay. I at this point, I go to Asad. I grab his like mouth there. It's like, okay, shh, it's 99 time. And I put the covers over us. 99 time. And that's it. And like cutscene. Cut to another scene.
Yep,
That made
that's
me
canon
dizzy,
now.
bro.
Yep, that's canon now.
Not only is it canon, it's on the internet forever.
Oh, jeez.
You
Hold on,
don't know
bro.
what's going on.
No.
Well, John Morello might not know what's going on.
But
We
everyone
know
else,
what degeneracy is taking place in the light of Jesus Christ, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is Aslan completely deconstructed Saul right now. Too bad he wasn't there to hear it.
yeah, he would have broken to tears.
Yeah.
Oh, my chest. Oh, I fell on the table. Get up to the table.
Uh-oh.
Ow.
So yeah, I guess after like about an hour, once lunch is ready, Aslan and Pavel would hear a knock on the door, and they would hear John's voice saying, "Hey guys, lunch is ready. If you're hungry, sure smells good."
I whip off the blanket. You know, I'm still dressed, but you see all the entrails and the blood and everything. And you see like a handkerchief like stuck in the snow. So he's like, well, Mr. Morella, I think it's time for that fine meal. I'm starving. Especially with a good night's rest.
So John, he had opened the door and peeked his head inside to see all this, and he makes a face and he says, "I'm not gonna ask." And then his head disappears behind the door as he gently closes it to give you guys a moment.
I just walk out the room. Would you say it's a long rest, DM, or is it a short rest?
That's absolutely not a long rest. That's a short rest.
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
I was trying to ask you guys, how does everybody want to do this? And then instead everybody was just like, no, we will roleplay the cooking and the napping.
Yeah, no, my assumption is that, having lunch is like a short rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know what? A rest, especially in my condition, any rest would have been a good rest. So I swing the door open. I walk out the room. You see blood and the entrails and parts of the bones sticking on Havel's body. Comes out, stretches his body. He's like, "Ugh, morning, people."
Hey guys,
Yeah,
perhaps you
yeah.
should go wash up for lunch. You're very sanitary.
Saul is setting the table. He's like he starts like handing out like the plates of dinner, and all of it looks very good. But like Lula's has like the gravy poured over it, and he's like cut potato wedges to the shape of a smiley face on it.
Okay.
John would ask Al to. John would ask Al for her to help them set the table. If she doesn't mind.
Lula, if Lula does eat it, she's going to get 9 temporary hit points for the rest of the day.
Hey.
Good to know. Al angrily refuses and gets a little bit pissed off, like ordering me around, and then she complies angrily. Bless you.
Bless you.
I'd say as soon as John mentioned the idea of lunch, Aslan kind of rushed to the table to sit down. He was probably one of the first ones, but as he rushes, he like grunts in pain from making. You can tell that he hasn't healed.
Pa
Yep.
looks you up and down.
Go ahead and actually Aslan
Sitting
should go
at
ahead
the
and roll an
table.
additional D8 to heal.
Okay. Pa looks you up and down as you sit at the table and says, "Now, Mr. Aslan, I understand that your tribe ain't so kindly to us polite folk, but if you would wash before sitting at my table."
Oh. Okay. All right.
Hannibal, you didn't wash him? You've been with him
you
the
guys-
whole time.
You guys can draw up a bucket at the well, I imagine. Take a rag with you.
You guys proceed to wash and clean yourselves, and it's all good. You sit at the table, eat the delicious chicken fried steak. You know what my favorite southern thing is? Fuck chicken fried steak, man. Chicken fried chicken. This is just chicken fried chicken. Like, what a ridiculous name, but it's amazing.
That's so much less special than a country fried steak, though. With some sausage, white gravy.
Oh yeah, but you know, American biscuits and white gravy. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
yeah.
as they're at the table eating, John would say, "How about instead of you hanging back here, how about you come with us, Al, to show us where this hole in the ground is? Would you be willing?"
She looks over at Lula, staring daggers at her. Guess I ain't got much of a choice, do I?
Well, I am asking.
I can show you.
You have our thanks. So, what do you think of Saul's cooking?
It's the best thing I've eaten in a while. She's like gulping it down. Someone's gotten Jim, right? Someone's brought in Jim for lunch.
No, Jim's still sitting out there.
Yeah, I think, I think he's still tied up.
Al would have
Still
asked,
time out.
is someone bringing in Jim?
No, when Havo goes out to like wash up at the well, he will Jim in.
Okay, cool.
Welcome.
So everybody, this is Jameson. I believe he's the companion of Al. And I pull an empty chair for him to sit next to Al. And I would like to people watch them too, how they interact with each other.
They Jim sort of looks at Al like a beat dog, and Al sort of looks at him like she's about to beat him like a dog. And their interactions continue very much in the same light, where he's almost like a nuisance to her. She's just annoyed by his presence more than anything.
Well, it's going to be doubled with Lula also death staring at Jim.
So, as they're
About
eating at the
halfway through
table,
the meal, Al will stab her knife into her steak and go, "Is there a problem?" Oh wait, you probably didn't give her a knife. She'll stab whatever
Nope.
implement she has into the steak and look at Lula and go,
a fork.
"Is there a problem?"
Lula's gonna look at Saul to see to gauge his reaction.
He is like a rock. Totally impassive, just eating. Doesn't seem to be paying too much attention.
And Lula's going to look back at Al. He's just going to respond by saying, "Just waiting for that second chance to run out." No problem, though. No problem at all.
Well, whenever you want to take it.
Now, Al, Lula might not yet trust you, but I do. I think your heart is true when you want to give this other life a chance. But let's just all enjoy our food here while we can, and we'll head out to that spot once we're done. Jameson, hope you don't mind that Pa gives you a little something to do while you're out there at it. I've taken a piece of your hair, so if you do decide to run, we'll be able to track you down.
He looks at you in complete fear.
And he says, but don't you worry. As long as you stay good, you have nothing to fear. Pa here is a good man, an honest folk. And I suggest that you give this an honest try. Give us an honest try.
I kind of crane my neck to. Oh no! First, I look at John and I crane my, and as I like turn my head and crane towards Jameson, I was like, "You don't have to worry about that, Mr. Morella. I believe that Jameson, he's a good egg. I don't think there's anything rotten to the core of him."
Oh
Ain't
yeah,
that
he's
right?
a good egg, all right. Saul is sharpening a Bowie knife.
John then says, yes, I believe you're right, but just in case I am wrong, I'll put a hole in him myself.
You're a good egg, Jameson. Tell him what a good egg you are.
He sort of like looks terrified between all of you. I'm not planning anything. I promise.
That's not what I
Being straight
said,
with y'all.
Jameson. I said, tell him you're a good egg.
I'm a good egg.
He needs to hear it from you. There we go.
And
We're the good guys. We're the good guys.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
and I also look at Al, and it's like I also believe, just like Mr. Morello, that you can change for better, and you just got to give it a shot to spice up all the grief that you might be getting in the next few days. I ask and I hope that you do give it an honest try at a new life, Miss Al.
Okay, then let's skip to the end of the meal and see. Can you guys just tell me what you would like to do? You finish up the meal.
Yeah,
Al
we can clean up.
nods her head nonchalantly. You clean up the table, do all the things that you want to do. But you guys were planning on heading out, and you want to do this after. Everyone can take a short rest, by the way, of course, after the meal, after everything is done. But
So just real quick, John would like to telepathically speak to Havel, and Havel would, in his mind, hear a soft, echoing, watery voice saying, like after he said what he said to Al, he would say, "With this one, we can't take the moral high ground. Let's make her feel as an equal. If she senses that we feel like we're better than her, she'll cut us off. We won't get through to her.
No,
Needs to speak to her like as we would a friend, and not a lesser."
I'm fully aware of that, Miss Morella. I'm a man of the people. I understand. I love to read.
By the
people
way,
like you.
By the way, I can't hear you. If you're just talking ahead, that takes
can't?
more.
it's only one way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only one. I thought it was two ways.
Yeah,
Havel
He's
just started
just like
talking out
thinking in his
loud.
own head. Me. No, he's just like talking in his own head, and then there's silence and there's no response.
No, hold up. So this is literally like John saying to him, like once he realizes that John, like he would realize that John is trying to, or not John, Havel is trying to talk back to him mentally.
Yeah, Havel's
John
just, like,
would
thinking his
tell him,
whole
like,
sentence,
by
and
the
John
way-
just, like, interrupts him in the middle of the sentence. By the way, are you thinking
He's like-
anything? I can't hear you.
Yeah. By the way, I can't hear what's in your mind unless I make the effort.
That's
But
pretty
no.
funny.
Yeah, just letting you know. And then he stops talking to him mentally.
How does Havel react to that?
I'm like,
We'll be right back, guys.
Right.
He just shakes his head at you and gives you a strange look.
Yeah. So I guess after lunch we would help put everything away and stuff. We would introduce James to Pa, and then we would ask Pa to both keep an eye on him, but to also give him a little something to do so he's not too bored, and maybe he can see what a little bit of what life on the ranch is about. And then after that, we would ready all of our things, our weapons and whatnot, and we would. Well, hold on. I guess we have a bunch of bodies to deal with real quick. I guess we would loot them and then bury them with a cross. Give them a marked grave somewhere.
Okay. All right. So burying with a cross is not a thing. In the light of pillow, you can burn people, and then if you want to bury them with the cross of pillow, which is actually a thing. It's more like a plus than like a cross. It's like a that.
Yeah.
And it's
No, in that case,
But Pa
probably...
did tell you to feed them to the skinkers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Shit. John would ask to burn them instead and give them, a proper send off instead of being, fed like animals to the skinkers. I would see if he'd agree to that.
Well, hold up.
Yeah,
is this a common practice within your realm? Like, taking bodies and feeding it to the animals? Especially
no, this is like the the mafia feeding bodies to the pigs. It's more like that sort of situation.
Oh, get rid of evidence type of thing.
Precisely. Yeah.
Okay, so I leave it to Morello, to John, to whatever he feels right. Harold feels no empathy nor any disgust. It's like, hey, this is just frontier justice. I leave it be. And I walk off.
I guess John would try and set up a small pyre, and it would be really shitty. A shitty fire, because John isn't really good at fire starting. And then he would try and set the bodies alight. And while he
I don't know about Saul's plan, but Saul was saying something about making a spectacle of it. I'm sure Saul would see John doing all of this.
Yeah. John would see. I mean, Saul would see John collecting fire. Yes.
Yeah.
To burn the bodies.
Maybe Saul would want to step in and do something about the spectacle that he wanted to make out of this little funeral.
Yeah. So Saul's gonna walk up to him. I don't think I could think of a better spectacle.
What? Than burning them? Isn't it appropriate? Isn't that like how you country folks do it?
I mean, watching you try to.
Oh. You're not gonna help me? He says as he looks up to Saul as John is futilely just trying to rub two sticks together to start a fire. He clearly has no idea what he's doing.
No, you're doing a great job. Look at that. Look at that form. This is fantastic.
Could you please help me set this alight? I'm struggling
here. Did you grab any oil?
You're supposed to use oil?
Oh my god.
Wait, I think I have some here, some left over. He sticks his hand into his coat, and then he pulls out half a flask left of lamp oil.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Don't worry, we got something in the barn.
All right.
I'll start helping him.
Thank you. So yeah, so as they begin to burn, John would look to Al. I imagine she'd be standing there with them, just watching or whatever, and he would ask her, so you have anything you want to say as a farewell to your friends? Which I'm sorry for.
She sort of looks around at all of you and goes, well, I know you guys won't believe this, but they were actually good folk. They were better to me than most in this world. I guess goodbye. You got some whiskey?
John frowns and nods his head, and he says, I do believe. And yes, I do. He puts his hand into his coat again. He pulls out a bit of leftovers from a flask of whiskey.
She pours a bit out. She's like, looks sadly at their bodies and pours a bit out into the ground. Takes a shot and hands it back to you, slightly emptier.
John also takes a shot to cool his nerves before he slips it back into his coat.
What time of day is it?
It's approaching evening now. And you guys have spent most of the afternoon resting and cooking and doing what you've been doing.
Well, I reckon whoever was going to mourn them has mourned them by now, so we should probably get a move on, yeah?
Sounds good. I'll go get my horse.
Don't bring a horse. We have to go up a couple gullies. You guys. Sorry, I was slipping into paw voice. We have to go up a couple gullies. Do you guys hole or the camp?
What was that? The last part?
The hole or the camp?
Yeah.
Which do you want to see?
We'll start
You
with
want
the camp.
Camp.
John looks like he was about to say something, and then Saul says that, and then John frowns, and then he says, "Okay."
Camp's got more folk.
You're really itching for a bloodbath, aren't you, Saul?
No, John, I don't know if you realize what might be in that hole, but whatever it is, the last thing we want is a dozen people coming in after us.
So we're gonna kill him first? Is that it?
I don't know. What do you think?
It sure sounds like it. Look, I feel like...
I suppose, John, that it's up to them.
True, but I feel like what's important is whatever they're guarding, not the guarding it. But hey, maybe it's one and the same. Want to visit their camp first and kill them all? I guess I have no choice but to go along with it. But
Hey,
I do
John?
think it's more important that we take what's in the hole. Yes, Lula?
It makes you feel better. Just think of it as stopping the infection before it spreads. That's how I see it.
People aren't an infection. We're just that, people.
Look, I think maybe there might be too much of a focus on the morals of this. It's not about morals, it's about practicality. You understand? We could go down that hole, and who knows what we're going to find down there. And the last thing I want is if the worst happens, and we manage to get whatever it is down there, and we're just beat all to hell. The last thing I want is a dozen people pointing guns at us on the way out. So yeah, I think we should handle the camp problem, however that might look, and then we'll go down in the hole.
Right, so we'll be the ones to shoot first in this case.
Well, we shot first a while ago, and it seemed to go pretty well.
No, we didn't.
So,
No, we didn't. They shot first when they strung up Old Man Hare. That was different. But I feel like in here we're focusing more on killing our enemies than we are in foiling them. But it's okay, Saul. We can yet again do things your way. Let's see how it goes.
look, John, if you have a better idea, I'm all ears.
I do.
I am saying tactfully.
I say we go to the hole and we take whatever they're guarding. If they resist, we'll do what needs to be done. But our objective is to steal from the property investment group, not kill everyone that's working for them. I think there is a difference there.
If these people are the way I think they are, we could steal from them for the rest of our lives, and it would be a drop in the bucket. It wouldn't matter.
Well, like I said once before, you're assuming a whole lot. we don't know anything about this property investment group other than that they have two men that say that they work for them out in the country club.
I think that we could probably learn a lot about them.
As we are we're traveling at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
We still at the ranch.
Yeah, you guys are walking up.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, gentlemen? I think I might have a different alternative.
Yeah.
I might be able to, if they're staying at a country club, I think I might be able to get into their rooms and find out exactly what we're dealing with, who we're dealing with, and maybe find a way how to incentivize them in buying up the ranches, at least in Tenton. Can't say anywhere else, but maybe the more we learn about the property investment group, maybe the more we could deter them from being in Tenton. Now,
I'm with you there, Havel, but I feel like that comes after. Right now, we're going to check out the bandit camp and see if we can steal away whatever they're guarding. Whatever they're guarding, it belongs to the property investment, and I want to see what it is, be it gold or evidence.
maybe it's something that's forcing someone like Al. What's the word? Blackmailing?
Well, that remains to be seen. We're about to find out, though.
It's worth investigating, Mr. Morello. But the bandit camp, that's also worth doing too. You don't know
You're
when
right.
they're going to strike. It's not like we know a timetable of when they're going to strike. I'm not liking killing people left and right, but we had a handful with just Ms. Al over there in that group. A bigger group, I don't know what we could accomplish, but we need to do something. We need to strike first before it strikes us.
Well, Saul wants to clear the camp. John wants to go to hole first. So maybe we send one person into the hole. Sneaky, you know? No killing and no fighting.
You know what? Maybe that's a job for me. I mean, I look at Aslan and I kind of like wink at him. It's like, even though I got a good rest, but I'm still kind of spent, if you know what I mean.
Well, Saul, with all due respect, Havel, I think Saul is the quietest out of all of us. After getting a little food in my belly, I think I have enough strength to be able to make him fly again. If you have some kind of magic up your sleeve that you can bestow upon him, I think that's our best chance. If we're looking to go that route. If we're just going to go into the camp and kill everyone, then I guess that's a moot plan.
How many people are we looking at? Have we gotten a number yet?
She did say a dozen.
A dozen?
Yeah, she did say that. That's kind of cool.
There is...
I mean, listen, there's a couple different groups, but 15 men at least total.
So
they're usually split up between the day and night shift, and then there's always a couple guarding the hole.
So there's 5 of us, you understand? There's 5 of us in the area.
Well, there's actually 4.5. I won't be able to do my special abilities. You know, I'm good with rapier. I could stab people, but
this is sort of what I'm talking about. There's there's at least 15 of them. Technically 16, if we want to get into technicalities here. With all due respect, I don't really consider us a party of 6 right now.
None taken.
That's fine. But maybe we should give Havel here a gun.
Yeah, take one. I got plenty.
Give him a rifle or something.
Sure.
Sure thing.
I hand him a rifle. From the battle before we had like close fire.
What?
Mic
Yeah,
placement.
you know what?
Mic
Here-
placement.
Huh?
Mic placement.
Yeah, because
Right,
you turned your
guys
head
keep
as you
turning
spoke.
in the- yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I keep trying to
It's-
sneeze and I don't want to sneeze.
Yeah, no worries. It's just it's very directional, I think.
I'm
Um,
also sneezy today.
Yeah,
That's all
bad.
good.
Yeah, I
Hard
guess
thing.
I could probably sneak into the hole and take a look at it if you want. I think I'm annoyed that the assumption is that I just want to go out and kill everything. That's not what it is. It's just
Well,
practical. They're high. Like I feel like
It
I feel like most
it is what it
people-
sounds like.
I feel like most people are forgetting that these people just hung an old man this morning.
They tried to. We stopped them.
They tried to, and thank goodness we were there.
Yeah, and we stopped them without killing all of them. I think that needs to be spoken.
I think that the only reason that happened is because we needed to ask them some questions.
Well, to you perhaps, but for me there was something.
Well, that's lovely for you, John, but frankly, I'm not going to let your kindness get people here killed.
I feel like if anything, my kindness has saved 2 lives this day. But look, if you're willing to at least try and at the very least steal whatever they're guarding first, how about we decide what we do after that? Whether that works or fails.
I think that you should surround the camp, let me sneak in there, and if anything goes wrong, if they shoot first, then we'll probably have to count on I suppose we'll just have to hope that we can outgun 15 people, 16 people.
I'm sure we can. But remember, they take shifts guarding whatever it is they're guarding, so we'll likely only need to face them about half at a time, depending how close whatever the booty is to their camp. So the question is, we go into the booty first, or we go into the camp first? I'll let you decide, Saul.
We can sneak in and secure it, and that's fine. But I think leaving this camp here while we figure out what to do about the 2 gentlemen over at the country club, I think that's a mistake.
All right.
Now, I'm all right with sneaking in there and getting whatever's in there out so that we don't risk anyone running off with it. But
great, then we'll do that first. So we try and sneak up to wherever the hole is guarded, and we try and get like close to it in the sense that we have line of sight and we're within guns range to shoot at people and to like cover Saul. And we would try and find like a bush or a rock to hide behind to just be like, okay, it's go time.
Allie, to her credit, will point out, over there, see that rock? And we'll point out the spot where there seems to be 2 lookouts, sort of on overwatch of the area. There's 2 up there. There's another 2 in the clearing. You guys have line of sight on what appears to be, the whole river valley runs the length of sorry, not the river, like where the stream is, runs the entire length of where the settlement is. And this seems to be a tributary stream that runs into them with a bunch of crags and rocks and whatever. And it seems you guys are between a couple of rock outcroppings in an area that seems to almost have suffered erosion over time. And you're sort of looking down a couple of like eroded, empty riverbeds that seem to lead into some sort of central almost looks collapsed in area even further down the hill. So you can get in an overwatch position and everything you said in rifle range, all of that stuff, but there's no line of sight on whatever this hole is directly because it's too far downhill.
Are there guys guarding it?
She points out 2 people on Overwatch, and there's 2 more people in the clearing, wherever that is.
You got a trick for seeing in the dark? Is it nighttime yet?
It's approaching evening at this point.
Okay, so I could probably still see though.
Yeah, you're not completely blind, but it's
Okay.
Sun is starting to set.
Well, we should probably move quick then. If you got any magics for me, I'll take them. Or I can just go in raw, that's fine.
No, I got you.
I take off my glove and it's like, I shake his hand. Good luck to you, Mr. Saul. Hope everything what you find in the hole will shed some light into this situation, and you get a bardic inspiration.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
And then John, from his crouched position, he comes closer to Saul, and he lays a hand upon his shoulder, and he says, "En shotavan ekutsama." And you can see a glow from behind his glasses as a soft green shimmer surrounds Saul's body, and he begins to feel weightless. And others around him would also notice that John also has a soft shimmer around him, coming under the effect of the same spell. And as he casts Fly on both himself and Saul,
Okay.
and then he gives him a smirk and a nod, and he says, "Do your thing."
Awesome. Would I get an advantage for just moving quietly since I'm not technically touching the ground, or no?
You guys are really big for advantage on anything, huh?
No, it's okay.
Well, in
That's
this
fair.
case, I do
No,
think
that's fair.
it makes sense, right?
Yeah, I was
we're in the middle
about
of
to
night,
say,
too.
listen, guys. You guys know I'm a nice DM, but I just wanted to shit on him first.
All right, that's fine.
I would say this: you have advantage on not being heard because you're not, crunching on the ground or anything like that.
It's okay. I can
But
just
you're
do a
also
straight roll.
flying through the air.
I'll just do a straight roll. It's fine.
No. If you can describe to me.
Well, I
how
was
you sneak
kind
down
of
the
picturing it
gully.
as like levitate, like just light levitation. He's just not. He's as close to the ground as he can be. He's just kind of zooming around from like rock to rock.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can take advantage.
He's
of that.
slithering.
I'll give
He's
it to you.
slithering like a levitating snake.
Exactly. But like
It's also
a practice.
John giving you the fly is technically him giving you the help action as well. So
Yeah,
you can
with
take
with
you
a
can take
spell
the
slot.
advantage. With a spell slot, so you can take the advantage, bro.
Okay.
At the cost of a spell slot, that's worth it for sure, right?
All right,
I
that's
only
a
have 2.
That's a 23.
Dude,
I'll
I'm
tap
sure
my spell slots.
7th level warlock at this point, you still only have 2 spell slots. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, warlocks
Oh
don't
my-
get.
That's how it works.
Warlocks
That's
don't
how
really
it
get
works.
slots.
Ever.
That's why that meme that you saw is so true. I cast
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast on repeat.
Yep.
I wonder why warlock is like more fun for multi-classing than for actually playing though, but that's it. Because if you have other spell slots, then you can still cast warlock spells.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, you're
Only way
more
to do it.
you're more of a utility caster, or at least John is, instead of just going Nova.
Yeah.
Yep.
True. Okay. So
All right, so I rolled a 23 total on the stealth and just trying to get up into the hole. I'm just gonna try to slither in there like a worm or something, so they don't even see me.
the one guy seems to be propped up against the rock, and as you levitate, stopping behind a particular crevice to take a glance up, you get a view of him. Seems to be snoring.
Awesome.
The other guy has a vague eye out on the area, and you're able to sneak past the first set of guards.
All right. Do you need me to roll another stealth check for another set of guards, or?
I was actually about to ask a question, but it doesn't matter. So let me describe. You sneak down this small ravine through the dry riverbed, inches above the ground, levitating in your sly, sneaky eel-like manner. And you make it past these dried-out rocks of this seemingly eroded area. And what you see in front of you is a riverbed, but it's the strangest one you've ever seen before, because through these cracks and dry rocky areas or whatever, right? They're mostly small little cuts in the hillsides, you know, cut out by water and wind over years and years and years, and then suddenly they open out into a flat flay. And the only thing you can compare it to is like the dry prairie flays that you've seen, you know, these big wide open areas, because it's perfectly flat at the bottom and covered in what seems to be a fine, almost white, it's so light, sand that is different from the surrounding area. And in the middle of
am I near the sand? Am I like floating above it?
Yeah, no, you're still like about to like descend down into this area, right? You're just crawling around the bend now.
Okay.
Because in the middle of it you see what looks kind of like an open ditch. And on the other side of the ditch, you see another two people sitting. One of them seems to be a cat folk person, and the other some sort of humanoid.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stealthily descend, and then I'm gonna reach a hand down into the dust, and I want to determine two things. I want to determine if the dust is deep enough for me to like slightly burrow under,
Okay.
and I also want to figure out if it's dust or if it's ash.
Okay. Please give me an insight check. And as you do that, Hamlet's Dex.
Thank you.
As you do that.
Oh, natural 1. That sucks.
Okay.
Nice.
7.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think it's just regular dust, man. It's like clearly like a lake bed, and that's it. Nothing weird going on here.
As far as you can tell, it's a bit grimy, isn't it? And you run your fingers through it, and the first thing you feel are a couple of stones, and then like small insect crawls across your skin. You know, ugh, what the fuck? And I'm gonna need you to make me a stealth roll. However, at this point, you no longer have the advantage.
That's fine. 19.
19. You slide across the dust, dipping your hand into it. No one notices that you're there. The presence seems oddly quiet. You know, you hear the wind blow, you hear the sounds of nature and the environment, you hear birds chirping in the distance. But there's seemingly no reaction from the pair of humanoids you see across the flay.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of get. I'm just gonna try to stay out of their field of vision as best I can. Maybe circling around them.
Okay. So as you're descending down into this thing, there are there's cliff faces on 3 of the 4 sides of you. And so like you come down one of the faces, right? There's like the path that you come down. Across from you, it's like a wall that's been eroded away, and to the left of you is where the line seems to be cut into the wall, and then the river valley sort of flows to the right of you, if that makes sense, right? It sort of like flows down that way. At least 20 feet, sorry, like no, not 20 feet, 40 let me think about it. 20 feet is 4 blocks, right? Yeah, so 40 feet, so like 8 blocks away, like 40 feet on the left side, and about 30 towards you and 30 towards the other side where the 2 humanoids seem to be underneath this little cliff face. The flay is completely flat in this dust. There is no cover on any side.
Right.
There is
So
at least 30, 40 feet of open dust around the
Right.
small little ditch in the
so
ground.
they're tucked up underneath a cliffside. Is that what I'm under? Is that
They
what I'm
seem to
hearing?
be taking shade underneath
Okay,
one
and they're
of the things
looking,
from
and
the
they're,
late afternoon sun.
but the hole itself isn't underneath the cliffside. They're just watching it.
The hole is directly in the middle of this little open dust pan.
Okay. I still got lots of time left on fly, right?
Plenty. We wasted like maybe a minute or two at this.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna circle around to the top of the cliffside, and
Okay.
I'm gonna try to find a way to cause like not a serious one, just enough to like alarm them and have them like looking at the cliffside instead of like out at the hole. I
From
wanna
which
cause
side? So you're coming down. You're coming from what's effectively the south side. That side, the south side is a cliff. Is like cliffs that you're coming down in this little river cut. The west side is cliffs, and the north side is cliff, and then the river cut continues east towards where the main stream is.
Okay. I think I'm struggling a little bit because I'm having trouble visualizing it.
Okay, 4 corners, bro. North,
Okay.
south, east, west. You're
All right.
coming from the south, descending down the river. The
Right.
flay continues down, cuts against the east bank, cuts against the north bank, and then continues eastwards.
Okay, well, if I can descend into that to make my way around them, then I will.
Okay, you can.
Okay. The idea is because they're focused on the hole in the ground, I can't get in it without them really noticing me.
Mhm.
Like I feel like that would be stealth with disadvantage, right? So
Yeah.
I want to avoid that.
Mhm.
Not just because disadvantage, just because it doesn't make sense to me. I shouldn't be able to make it in there without them noticing unless I'm invisible or something.
So stealth with a disadvantage. Does that mean that he would roll a straight roll since he has advantage for flying freely
I thought we
and
were just
silently?
No. I would say that the advantage is definitely been negated by the fact that he's flying over an open area, right?
Right.
There's no way of being stealthy while you're just literally floating in the air past something. You know what I mean?
That's
Okay.
fine.
So it would
yeah,
be a legit disadvantage roll. Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't want to get too into the weeds with it. Just my plan is to kind of like use the bank to circle over close to them and then ascend over the cliffside and try to find a spot where I could cause like a rock slide or something.
Okay. Do you want to do it
maybe-
on top of them, to the side of them? What's your thinking?
I think if I'm able to injure at least one of them, then that's
Okay,
probably
so
a
right
better
on top of them.
distraction.
Make me a strength roll to see what you can push over.
A strength roll. Okay.
Athletics, I guess.
That's not going to be good.
Nope.
That's okay though.
Yeah, Saul has amazing strength, doesn't he?
He's got really bad strength, but I got a 13. He's a little old man with noodle arms.
13 is enough. You're able to, wedge one of your rifle butts underneath a stone and push it on top of another stone, and you send some of these small rocks and sand just down this like 20-foot bank on top of them. And you hear some commotion from underneath as you hear as a cat panics. And then you hear some expletives being yelled out from below that seem to echo up the riverbank that also alert the other pair, and you hear some shouting back. What's
That's
going on
fine.
over there?
I just need to get in the hole while no one's looking at the hole. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, you hear a little bit of commotion. And I'm going to let you roll with disadvantage to see if you hit something.
See if I what?
Roll to hit with a rock, so make an improvised weapon attack, please.
Okay.
Disadvantaged.
With
At
disadvantage.
disadvantage, because you can't actually see them. You're sitting on the
Okay.
cliffside.
And am I using strength or dexterity?
Dexterity is fine. I'll give it to you, bro.
So I'll just make an unarmed strike with disadvantage.
That's okay for me.
Okay. I got an 18.
You hear some of the cursing go, fucking got me on my fucking head, bastard. Oh. Can you please roll me a d4?
Okay. That's max damage.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
That max damage on the D4.
You hear people, you hear them scrambling towards the east side where the riverbank runs up, and they seem to be trying to scramble up the cliff face that you just found yourself at. You also
Okay.
hear other voices shouting from where the initial guard post that you snuck past was. You need to be quick
That's
if you
that's
want to
the
make
plan.
your way
It's like
past them.
it's it. Like yeah, I'm like zipping to the hole now because I'm like they're focusing on the injured guy. That's all I needed. I just needed that split second, so that's what I'm doing.
You can give me a straight stealth roll.
That's fine. I just didn't want that disadvantage, baby. Oh, brother.
Ooh.
Okay, 12.
Oh,
You have inspiration?
brother, there's some shit
No, I used my
under
inspiration
to
last game
just
to
discover.
Oh, bardic
to.
inspiration, huh? That works?
Oh, I do. That's right. How much do I get for that?
A D8.
D8. Okay, this will be good. This is gonna be good.
You're gonna roll high.
I rolled okay. So it's a +3 to that. So 15. That's not bad.
15.
It's like that.
Probably more than the passive perception of most creatures. Maybe.
On the one active perception, I rolled a natural 1.
Fuck.
So
Hey.
you're good, bro.
Hey, good
Don't worry
good
about it.
barding, man. That was a good.
Yeah.
Nice save.
I bet that feels good.
You make your way, sneaking past, and you hear, just as you duck under the ground, 2 voices go, "Where the fuck are you two going?" As there starts to be some like miscommunication about why both the sets of guards seems to be leaving their post. They sort of yell at each other, and you hear them arguing above you. But as you slip down into this hole, you're engulfed in shadow, and it's dark. And this thing goes 5, 10, 15.
Yeah.
You're at least
As
20
soon
feet down now.
as,
And
soon as I
it's
turn
a-
the corner, I'm turning on my lantern. I just don't want the light to come out the.
Okay, hold up. Let me describe it first, because
Okay, sorry.
you're in an open ditch. This is a hole in the ground. Literally. It seems to be dug by pick and shovel and hand. And it's literally like a pit mine, bro.
Okay.
And initially when you go down, you're confused as the sandy walls seem to slip around you as you slowly make your descent. And you're confused as it's, the sand turns to clay, turns to rubbly rock. And you're 20 feet down. This is a deep little pit mine. And you start to examine the walls, and your passive perception helps you out here. Even though it is dark, you notice a glint. Bless you. You notice a glint in the gravelly walls of this little pit that you're in. Slight
Star iron.
sparkle.
Is it celestial or star iron?
As you look at it, can't tell between the rocks. Most of what you're seeing seems to be shale.
Okay. If there's not much of a chance of them seeing the light, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my lantern and get a good look at it.
Immediately, there's a sparkling, bright white, titanium white sparkle in your face like gemstones. As you notice
Gemstones.
chips of celestial
Okay.
that you're now so familiar with.
So there's celestial and
trail.
also this unidentified gemstone. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm saying sparkling like gemstones, sorry.
Oh,
I
sparkling.
also said white like titanium, but there's no
Yeah, okay.
titanium in
I
the
was just
hole.
making
It's
sure.
white like titanium and sparkling like the night sky, however you want me to say it.
Gotcha. No, it's okay. No,
Like
awesome.
the sun. Imagine the sun when you see the afternoon sun on the sea, and the light blinds your eyes, so you can't actually look at the ocean properly. As soon as you light your magical lantern, That's the light that's reflected on you from underneath these chipped stones.
Gotcha.
And it seems that something is there for sure.
It's a vein of celestial. Sounds like.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to excavate it just a little bit to get a really good look at it. See if there's anything special about it.
Please give me a sleight of hand check.
Sure.
Oh.
Oh no. Would somebody like Saul have good sleight of hand?
No.
No, he
It's
wouldn't
dex
because he rolled a nat 1. God damn it!
Oh gosh,
Oh, no.
that's not good.
Oh, that's
good.
brilliant. That's brilliant. I couldn't have done this any better.
That's a shame because that's like
Saul,
one of the,
with one hand on
that's one of the
his
things he's actually good at.
with one
Sleight
hand
of
on
hand.
his lantern,
It's like stealth.
digs a greedy hand into the celestial sparkling shale, trying to. And as he does, you know, there's a little pitter patter of one stone and another stone and another, and then suddenly, as the whole seems to be slowly imploding in on itself, and you hear, "Oh, what the hell is that? Saul!" And you seem to have made a large noise as this hole, as at least the shale layer of this hole seems to be collapsing in on you. And you've raised the attention of the guards from around the hole. And with that, I think that's what we'll pick up from next week.
Sounds good.
So if you watched this far, I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as we did. And if you did, please give us a follow. We need like 12 followers, and then we're Twitch affiliated, which will be cool. I'm excited for that. I hope you are
We
too.
would appreciate it.
We would really
Yes, we would.
appreciate it. And in the meantime, until next week, I hope that all of your rolls are natural 20s. And best luck on all your future adventures. Till next time.
Needs a natural 20.
Thank you.
Woo-woo!